You know, it was great. I was here in Chester, and a lot of women came together that had breast cancer survivors, and I, of course, am one as well. So bringing attention to breast cancer, also to multiple sclerosis, the two diseases that I've suffered from, I'll bring more attention to that. But beyond that, I've worked with at-risk youth. I love kids, and there's so many kids in this country right now that are being left behind. And in all the work I've done in all the years, I've discovered one thing that's very, very important. And that is that those kids that are being left behind understand that they're cherished, that they're loved, that to always remember that no matter what, God loves them, and to give them another chance, another hope. There's a lot of programs that are very effective in reaching out to kids, so I hope to do more of that.
You've obviously had a really important role in reaching out to women voters with your husband, and polls show that that's been a difficult area for him to make any inroads. If there were one or two things that you could key in on to women voters, what would you tell them about why you think your husband would make a good president?
You know, it's really been disheartening to go across this country for the last year and a half, and so many women are coming to our events, and so many women are voting for Mitt, and they're voting for him for different reasons than what we saw were driving people to the polls 4 years ago. And it's been interesting to have that contrast of having been on two separate presidential campaigns and to see the huge difference. Now, what women are talking to me about, they're often crying, and they're coming saying, I've lost my job, my husband's lost my job, my child can't get work, please help. And that's what we're hearing over and over and over again all across this country. The numbers aren't really reporting the suffering that's going on out there. And it's more like there's 11% of our citizens that are not working. People have dropped off of the unemployment rolls because they've stopped looking for work. The numbers are not really reflective of what's going on out there. There's a lot of people that are really hurting. And I hope people saw in the debate that Mitt is a person that does care, that he is concerned about all of those that are being left behind, that there is a real reason for them to vote for him, because he does understand the economy. He does want to get this job, this economic engine in this nation going again, so that people can get their lives back together again.
The president's campaign has gone to great lengths to try and paint your husband as somewhat of an extremist when it comes to social issues, and his stance has shifted over time on some of these key issues. Do you think that that women clearly understand where he stands, and is that important to them as it maybe has been in past elections?
Everyone's going to have to go in the voting booth with whatever it really motivates them at that time. But what I really believe is going to make the biggest difference, and why Mitt is going to win, and why it's so important that he wins, is that people are going to have the economy and jobs and their own jobs, and they're concerned about their own job security on their minds, and recognizing that they are going to have more confidence in Mitt to get this economy going again. He has all the confidence in the world, by the way, that he knows what he is just dying to do. I think that came across in the debate, by the way, the energy, the enthusiasm, the excitement that was with my husband during the debate, because he's full of passion. And he's very concerned about so many Americans that are really, really hurting right now.
Let's talk about the debate. Obviously, that was a high point for your campaign. What was it like? You were probably one of the first people that got a sense from him as to how well he thought he did. Did he know right away that he had as much success that night as it turned out, as everybody looked back upon it?
I think I did. I mean, when you're standing up there getting grilled, I mean, I don't think he was thinking like, what's happening. But the second I got on the stage, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was fantastic. And, my little granddaughter just threw her, even she's 11 years old, she even knew that he'd won the debate. I was sitting, 4 of my 5 sons were there. We were just so thrilled to death. And then when we walked off the stage and walked to backstage to, some of our staff, the place erupted. Because it was clearly such a strong win. So he got the message pretty quickly that it had been a very, very good night for him.
And how important is it now for you as a group to capitalize on that momentum and take advantage of it as you now head into these last 3 weeks? I mean, most polls still show you trailing by a little bit. I mean, what is it going to take to overcome that?
I think we're doing very well in some of the polls. You just cannot take them at face values, because they poll so differently, and sometimes they're not likely voters, and we're doing very well. And by the way, I believe we're going to win, and I also believe we're going to win in Virginia. Now, we know it's going to be close here. It's so important that people get out. but I really believe we can carry this state. There is just, again, there's a passion and an energy out there, and there's literally, I mean, money is pouring into our coffers. Thousands and thousands of people are showing up at our rallies. There's a huge energy out there. There's excitement. What we're hearing from people is that, oh, we're so excited. We can believe again. We can believe that we can turn this around again, and you've given us hope. So that's what we're hearing out there, and that's what's going to drive us over the finish line.